All right, guys, thanks for watching. I might look happy at the moment, but I about had a domestic with my wife because she's worried about what the sink looks like. And when I look down in here, it looks pretty clean to me, and I'm wearing glasses. Anywho, so my wife is the lovely lady behind the camera who's now giving me the dirtiest looks I've ever seen, but that's okay. So today's video is about Dad's lasagna. Dad's lasagna is very similar to Dad's spaghetti. So I will put a link at the end of this video to go back and watch the spaghetti video. I've already got the spaghetti sauce made. It's cooking, it's done, and we're going to assemble our lasagna in just a minute. There's only a few things you need for the lasagna. 13 by 9 pan, some no-stick spray. I'm using the oven-ready lasagna because that way you don't have to boil it and lay it out and all that good stuff. I got some ricotta cheese, 16 ounces. Some Parmesan, which won't go on until it's out of the oven and you're ready to eat it. And some mozzarella cheese. I also don't put the top layer of mozzarella cheese on until it's out of the oven, and then I let it cook for a little bit without the top on. Otherwise, your cheese gets all stuck to your foil. And then also, I have my Wawa cup. If you don't have Wawa in your part of the country, you're missing out. If you do, I'm jealous. This is the greatest tumbler ever, but more important, Wawa makes the greatest sandwiches from a gas station I've ever had. Anyway, let me get this sprayed up. We'll bring the sauce over and we'll get to assembling. All right, so this is the spaghetti sauce we made earlier. I've got the recipe, like I said, I'll link it to it. But this sauce, when I'm getting ready to make lasagna, I do put a little bit more water in it just to make sure we don't have any hard pasta. Just so you know, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to start with just a nice liberal spray of non-cooking spray. You know what I mean, cooking spray, that's what I mean. And then it's kind of like just assembling. I start with a ladle on the bottom, maybe two. The reason for that is I don't want burned noodles at the bottom. The sauce won't burn, but a noodle very well could. And then you're just going to build it, 3, 3, and 3. Why don't you come over here? You can cut it off and edit that out. Okay, so my first layer, I actually put a fourth piece going the opposite direction just to give us a complete and total bottom. And then we're going to slop some sauce in here. And I don't make no 10-layer lasagna or anything like that. So, there's one layer. Now we're going to put 3 more on here. And the thing to know about this is these expand both directions as they cook. Now that I've got a layer of meat down, we're going to put in some ricotta. I know some people will tell you you're supposed to use cottage cheese or something of that nature. I'll be honest, I don't care for it as much with the cottage cheese. I'll also say if you're smarter than me, you'll pull your ricotta out a little bit before you're ready to make it so that it gets a little softer and easier to spread around. But beauty of cooking, it does not have to be perfect. People will eat it. And I usually put the whole 15-ounce container in on one layer. And I usually put it somewhat towards the bottom. You can do it however it works for you. Generally, one package does the whole 13-ounce or 13-inch pan. I just had a couple partials I was working with here. And this one's going to be a little thicker. And then I'm going to go in and sprinkle a little bit of my mozzarella. All right, this is how we're going to finish it off. Come on in here close, hon. Let's show the kiddos how we do this. So, 3 more. And I'll tell you, you don't really want it to get all the way up to the top of your container, or you'll be washing your oven out and your wife will be mad at you. So you don't want it to actually do that. So now I'm taking the last of this and putting it on here. And you definitely need the last layer to be completely covered, or your noodles will be dry and nasty. Okay, so that looks good. What we're going to do now is we're going to cover it with foil. We're going to bake it at 350 for probably 45 minutes. Then we're going to pull it out of the oven, take off the foil, cheese it again with mozzarella, and then we're going to put it back in the oven at probably 4 1/4 for 10-15 minutes till the cheese on top gets to be whatever texture of done that you and your family prefer. We're serving this tomorrow, so we're going to come back to you tomorrow as we're pulling it out of the oven and cheesing it up. Stay tuned. So this is the beauty of doing lasagna. I prepped it yesterday. My wife got home from work, so we're not waiting till 8 o'clock tonight to eat. She already put it in the oven for me. Now we're just going to take it out, stick the stem thermometer in it. If it's at 165, we'll dump some cheese on it, put it back in to melt the cheese. Let's take a look. So this is the beauty of it here. Got my stem thermometer in there. It says we're at 140. Move it around a little bit more and see if it changes much. Yep. So we need to be at 165 when we're finished. We're rapidly approaching that. So I'm going to put the cheese on. This is an 8-ounce package of cheese. I have a feeling it's going to take the whole thing and maybe a little bit more. Luckily, I have more than one. Yep, let me get it. This is about 6-7 ounces of mozzarella cheese. Gonna put it back in the oven. Gonna let it go about 10 minutes or until that cheese kind of gets to the color that we like it. Also, if your oven has a broiler and it has an option for like a low broil of maybe 400, that might work well as well. Whichever works for you. I'll get back to you when it's time to pull it out. All right, everybody, thanks for watching the video. You'll notice my background is a little different. I gotta tell you, unfortunately, last night when I was making the lasagna, I put the cheese on it, I threw it in the oven, I got temporarily distracted, and I burned the top of that SOB. So I'm gonna put a picture up for it, but there ain't gonna be no fancy thumbnail. I can tell you we kind of had to peel the burned cheese off to eat it. So cooking just, you know, it's a science, and I walked away from the oven, and then when it was burned on top, I was too frustrated to hold it up to everybody and let you look at it. But that's how you make the lasagna. The end video is going to be a link to the spaghetti sauce, for which is what I use to fill the lasagna up. I do appreciate you watching. Girls, as you know, Dad's not perfect. Sometimes I F up, and boy, did I burn the hell out of that thing last night. Anyway, y'all, thanks for watching. Have a great day.